Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yuni Nur Ayani. I am from English Department 5. And now I would like to explain about 10 types of qualitative research. The first type is ethnography research. This type of qualitative research is the most in-depth observational method which analyzes people and respondents in their own environment. This is the type of qualitative research requires the research to adjust to environment to target audience and their environments, which are based anywhere from a city to any other location. These geographical concepts are handled while data collection. This type of research design have to know the chance and culture and the motivation that occur. Instead of relying completely on discussion and interview, the setting can be experienced firsthand in this type of research. The duration of ethnographic research can last from a few days or weeks or months to years science to involves detailed analysis and observation and data collection on that basis. Oral history. The oral history manual is designed to help anyone interested in doing oral history research to think like an oral historian. Recognizing that oral history is a research methodology, the authors define oral history and then discuss the methodology in the context of the oral history life cycle. The guiding steps take a prisoner from ID to access. They examine how to articulate the purpose of an interview, determine legal and ethical parameters, identify narrators and interview, choose equipment, develop budget and record-keeping system, prepare for and record interview, care for interview materials, and use the interview information. The third types of qualitative research is case study. Case studies are rooted in several disciplines, including science, education, medicine, and law. Case studies are to be used when, first, the research wants to focus on how and why. Two, the behavior is to be observed, not manipulated. Third, to further and understand a given phenomenon. And fourth, if the boundaries between the context and phenomena are not clear. The next type of qualitative research is phenomenological method. Phenomenological is used to identify phenomena and focus on subjective experience and understanding the structure of those life experiences. Phenomenology is used to describe in depth the common characteristic of the phenomenology that has occurred. The primary data collection method is through in-depth interview. The next type is grounded theory method. Grounded theory is a semantic procedure of data analysis typically associated with qualitative research that allows research to develop a theory that explains a specific phenomenon. Grounded theory was developed by Gleish and Strauss and used to conceptualize phenomena using research. Grounded theory is not seen as a descriptive method and originates from sociology. The unit of analysis in grounded theory is a specific phenomenon or incident, not individual behaviors. The next type is narrative model. Narrative model in this type of qualitative research, the story is waved from one or two individuals who narrate a sequence of events. For this method, the research may be recorded to conduct detailed interviews, read different documents, and also look for various themes. In other words, how does a story of an individual illustrate than live influence. The interviews may be conquered over months, years, and the final narrative is not recorded to be in sequence. It can return to be presented as a story and can reconcile stories which are conflicting in nature and highlights opportunities for innovation. For example, when it comes to building a persona of narrative illustration is used. Historical model. Historical research about events that occurred in the past, is a research that has a research focus in the form of events that have passed and reconstructs the past with historical data, sources or witnesses that still exist today. Sources of this data can be obtained from various historical records, artifacts, verbal reports, and living witnesses whose testimonies can be justified. Focus groups. Focus groups are a form of group interview that facilitates on communication between research participants in order to generate data. Although groups interviews are often used simply a quick and convenient way to collect data from several people simultaneously. This means that instead of the research asking each person to respond to a question in turn, people are encouraged to talk to one another, asking questions, exchanging anecdotes, and commenting on each other's experience and point of view. The method is particularly useful for exploring people's knowledge and experience and can be used to examine to only what people think but how they think and why they think that way. Next, record keeping. Record keeping the already existing reliable documents or similar sources of information is used as the source of data. This type of data can also be used in fresh research. It can compart like going to a library where an individual can refer books to collect useful and relevant data which may be used in research. Record keeping has these days evolved into a content analysis, which involves analysis of videos or e-documents. The analysis allows examination of words, pictures, or other meaningful information which is used research analysis. Process of observation. Qualitative observation is a research approach that uses subjective methodologies to collect systematic information or data. Since the focus on qualitative observation is the study process of gathering information or data utilizing subject technique. Qualitative observation is generally used to compare and contrast quality variation. The five primary sense organs and their function are addressed in qualitative observation: sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing. This is not about measures or numbers, but about qualities.